Hey all, this is going to be a fun video. I had a request that I actually thought was a really cool one about going through. I had a big EEC chart in one of my videos that had a list of all the stuff that I found that I thought was cool that I might want to buy. So instead of using the big chart, which was really an eye test because everything was shrunk small, I do have a version that is 13 pages long. Now it's 14. The docs here I have aren't the most up to date because I don't print them all the time because that would get expensive with ink. So what I've ultimately done is, you'll see as we go through, it's kind of organized by pouch, sling, backpack, multi-tools, knives, etc. But what I ultimately did was, as it grew and grew, I gave up on organizing it that way. What I did was did it page by page or back to back. So they'll have different dates and the organizational restart, but that's a lot easier than reprinting the whole thing every time. Now that it's basically front and back, that would be 7 pages. So on kind of the first page here, I will go kind of slowly through this. I got some alpaca pouches, and I'll point out the ones that, actually I'll get this out of the background, that I think are cool, that are really cool. The Data Crew, they look awesome, but to be honest, that for me falls kind of in the trendy category, so I haven't gotten one. Kind of the same with the Garage Built. I know they're sought after, but I just can't pull the trigger on those. Although some of the bigger pouches he's got actually look really cool, so that will be a future. The left right up here, that was probably the first pouch I actually ever bought, so got a little bit of a soft spot for that one. And this one right here was kind of a bummer because it kind of looks like a backpack. I mean, it's not bad. I actually use it to store extra stuff in a kind of in a bin that I've got with some of my pouches and some of my extra tools. So it's not bad. I actually do use it, but it's not as cool as I expected it to be. Now, this Mars gear here, you can't see it. This one is really cool, but kind of reading the reviews of their website, I'm hesitant to order it, and it's no longer available on Amazon, or at least the last time I checked. Oh, and as you can see also, this document, I have the links to all of these, which is really helpful. But this has like the organizer on this side, and then it has like credit card slots. And that would actually be really nice as like a travel wallet or a travel EDC. So that's something to think about in the future. But there is another option I'll get to that I may actually get. And then Maxpedition. So I do have some Maxpedition pouches, and I do like them, but I have to admit they're not my favorite brand. And I think it's because of the material. And the material is great, don't get me wrong, it's definitely sturdy. But as you can see, I've actually got the fatty. I mean, the material's sturdy, it's gonna last forever. Oops, that might have went off. There you go. Page 2. But there's just something about, the different type of feel. And I know feel for pouches and fabric, some people like the wax canvas. I guess I would lean towards the more nylon-y type. Maybe X-Pack would be, if it wasn't so expensive, would be something for me. And now this I had really wanted, and then although the video didn't get a lot of watches, we had one of those Subaru water bowls that they give you for your dog. Well, we don't have a dog, so we were going to give it away to Goodwill, and that has become a great valet tray for trips, and it folds down flat. So it's really, sometimes you can find EDC stuff or stuff that's handy in unexpected places, and that was one. So there's some Expedition. Now the Notorious AGP pouch. I absolutely love this pouch. I'm not sure I would spend 50 bucks on it again. I am going to pick up a Viperade that is very similar. But what I liked about the AGP is it had the vertical and the horizontal storage. So it had vertical on one side and horizontal on the other. And for me, that was worth the 50 bucks. Would I buy a second one? It'd have to be the right colorway to do it, but so time will tell. Now this OLED pack, I actually have this. This is my overflow for like utility knives and such, and some tools. I'll actually do a video on this at some point. It's actually a really nice bag, but it's pretty huge to be an everyday carry in my bag, but it is a very handy and very useful for me. And we got a pocket tool roll and some Roaring Fire stuff. They have some really neat pouches. And I think it's this one right here. Whoops. Yeah, this one. I skipped over. This pouch, I think, has, like the Mars gear, has the card slots on one side, which would be really nice. And I've got that gift card first aid kit. So that's something, I hope that's on my gift idea list. It should be. And you got, actually that's just one of those cheap pouches. STW, I think they're someplace near Wisconsin. They actually make nice looking pouches. At one point I really wanted these. They're just small little, they're probably like 3x3, probably like for earbuds or something, or earbuds, AirPods, there you go, which I don't use because those things fall out and I'd probably lose them in 2 minutes. But these little things look like nice little organization things that you could throw stuff in and throw in a pouch, a backpack, so that I still might get those. Tactical Geek, this tiki design I saw in a review, it's actually pretty economical. We got some VanQuest pouches. They have lots of options in pouches. All right, we got through page 2. I'm gonna have to speed up here. So we got page 3. All right, Viperade. I have really taken to Viperade pouches, and I see myself buying, I would say, more than a few more in the future. Got the VE10, but they've got some really cool stuff and lots of different options, as you'll see, like in the 20s, they got different pockets. And this, oops. As you can see, this one is really nice because I got the larger pictures, but this one right here really caught my attention because what does it look like? The AGP. So I am definitely going to give that one a go and see how it works. We got this 31, actually looks pretty cool because it's a smaller one. And the Zero Feud, I actually have 2 of the little ones and they are awesome. I might get the larger size, but the larger size now, they change the organization, so I'm kind of on the fence. But they are economical pouches at $25 each for the larger ones. And I got that little wallet. And then the 0 Hour, kind of on the fence, but it's got really unique straps on that side. And some journal covers. I use that 2-year pocket calendar, and I can't find, kind of was hoping to find a journal cover, but the pocket calendar is just a little too big. And then if you get something like a passport wallet, they're just way too big, oversized. So there's nothing in between like a journal cover and a passport wallet that I could use for my pocket calendar. Just some tough possum stuff. Now we're getting into the slings, of course, some alpaca stuff. Bunch of alpaca stuff. They make some really cool things. A little on the pricey. I'm not going to talk about that, but because I might actually purchase another one of those. I use it for my, it fits under the seat on, even on Spirit as a carry-on. And I've also, it lets me carry my camera and CPAP all in one. That's super handy. That's the ape case, not the Bellroy, obviously. But and then we got the Chums. This thing's right here is kind of cool looking. Saw that on one of the, I think it was the Perfect Bag packable backpack. And some. And this TomTalk 9-liter sling is amazing. If you don't want to carry like a tablet or a small 2-in-1 computer, the slot for, I did a video on this, a slot for the 2-in-1 computer. What happens in a backpack when you put everything in the bottom? It all gravitates to the bottom and it's just bottom heavy, and then the top is really skinny and the bottom's really fat. Well, the laptop, tablet, whatever sleeve on this allows you to put 4 pouches in there, and it keeps them corralled so that they don't slide down. And then on top of the sleeve, you can put another layer of pouches if you want. And again, because of the thickness of the bag, it doesn't slide down. So if you're carrying a lot of pouches, this is, to me, probably the perfect bag for that. Of course, the 4-liter sling also have that. This bag is amazing. I shouldn't say that. I have the clone, as I did in the video, the clone, the second. Not sure which it is, but that design is just amazing, especially for just work and laptop stuff. Some more. And now it'll get easier to speed up because I'm into stuff I just think is cool, but flashlights, little USB. I'll probably never buy those, but, and then just a bunch of different flashlights. Have one of those. Oh no, that's the Olight. Have one of these little Cabela's ones. They were like $4. They actually work pretty good. And I do have like this IO3. It actually works. I don't know if it's this one, if this is the battery one. I think this is a chargeable one. I have one that's similar to this, but it's a battery. Have a Pulse TV version of this. But just a bunch of cool flashlights. And then getting into the multi-tools. And just some 3D printed stuff, which ultimately I may do if I get a 3D printer. And some knife options. But to be honest, I'm super happy with my Gordon. This you'll see on my keychain video that I do. I'm going to do an updated keychain video. Open all knives I actually really like. They're very simplistic, but again, that Gordon for an everyday carry for $10, that was an insane deal. A very nice knife. Some Swiss Army knives. I was looking at either the Fisherman or the Super Tinker. And the Fisherman and the Super Tinker are very similar tool set. And I'm not sure they make the Fisherman anymore. Now I don't camp hardly ever, so there is some fire starting stuff on here. But I've got a fire starting kit if the stuff really hits the fan. But since I don't really camp a lot, it's not a huge need, so ultimately I probably got enough, so I could probably take the stuff off here, but my rule is, once I put it on, it stays on. Work Sharp slide winder I've got a video on in the heart. Really surprising results there on which one I liked. One of these days I'm going to buy this Klein Precision kit. Or this one. This falls under the cool but pricey. This thing looks really cool. This Lutz is amazing. I've got a video on it where you cut it down and you can cut it and make a mini screwdriver kit very easily. And normally I am very economical, but from my past life when I used to do a lot of RC car stuff, we used to use the Weha small precision screwdrivers, and there is, at least in the small screwdriver realm, Weha was, I mean, king. They just worked like no other that you could buy. So I am a little partial to Weha. EDC pen, that was when before I realized I could make my own with the Bics. I do like these mini pens, the colored ones are kind of fun. These are actually nice too, but for in a pouch, I like a cap better than a click. Like I said, the fire starter stuff was kind of a, hey, maybe I'll get that, but I do have a kit that I actually haven't done a video on, but I got a pretty cool kit that I put together. So, like I said, this is more, I think that would get me through in a pinch, so I really don't need to spend money on this stuff. So kind of fly through this. The glow sticks are on there for use in fishing. Small nail clipper, Altoids, some microcord, water purification, and a USB adapter for camera cards and such. Just kind of do some bird watching from time to time, and read a bird watching book, and these were recommended, and they're a real economical but good pair of binoculars. Looking at maybe getting one of these, although the setup I got now is working pretty good, but for YouTube videos. Click counters are for fishing, just the small tins. Fidget toy, I do have these magnifying lenses, just because it helps, like if I'm in a store, or you could start a fire with it. Really torn on getting one of these consoles. Just some blades, I do have those, kind of a pocket fishing thing. Jute twine, I actually have some of that. This looks really cool. I have a Tamiya thread lock, which is kind of a gel that we've used for years, and I've still got it too. That stuff is awesome. But this Loctite glue stick, I'm seeing stuff I need to add to my list as I'm going through this, but that is a really cool thought. To me that looks really usable. And just looks like Teflon's coming off the hook a little bit, but might pick up some of that. Let me just go back through that just in case I did a bad job here. All right. So yeah, just some ruler tape, some of the stashers. And then these bands are all on here for the pocket cards. And I've actually fallen to using these almost exclusively. Emergency blanket, like I said, stuff hits the fan type of stuff. Compasses, I've only got one compass, and it's on one of those cheap temperature gauges. And all right, now I found one of my old documents. It's like I said, I'm starting over here again a little bit on the organization. So I've got some pouches. And then the Knipex are on here, but honestly, I really don't see myself ever purchasing them. I use I think I've got a Crescent brand. I've got, the best one I ever had was a generic one, like 30 years ago, maybe 35, when I was racing RC cars. But yeah, the Crescent ones are really solid, and I've got the channel lock ones as well. And I will say this style of pliers, I use them in all sizes. I've got the huge ones. I've got 3 of the larger size. Just anything from pulling trees that are growing out in the yard to tightening up anything. They're just the most useful pliers there is out there. I honestly don't see myself buying a normal pliers anymore. I just buy those. I've actually got one of these. You'll see that in the keychain video. On the fence still about the Shard. Pry tools, just, I don't know. I actually have this guy. Blankets again, then just more tools. Then I am looking to get a smaller, just handle. These are pricey, but kind of cool. The Wera. This thing's supposed to be really good, and I am seeing a lot of stuff I gotta add to my gift list. Some more water purification. Battle Box, we watched a review on these, and these look really good, and we have purchased them. Walmart actually had them, and we got one for each of our cars. Now, I've got a ton of headlamps, but I like the looks of these, that they've got they actually come out of there, so that you can use it not just as a headlamp, but as kind of a work light. You can see I've got there are so many different flashlights out there. And on some of them I have the Olight link and the Amazon link. Alright, getting down to it. So we got more flashlights. I am going to pick up another Zippo just because. I used to have a couple. I have no idea where they are, but I still actually have some extra flints for them, so. And that Vertex pouch was starred, but now that I've got that Tomtoc clone, there's really no need for the Vertex pouch, which is, I think, 119 bucks, so not very cheap. Some of the blank canvas stuff is really cool. Now these Maxpedition double-decker pouches actually look like a really cool idea. We'll probably pick up one of those. Like some of these, like I realize I got the Tomtoc tech pouch on there twice. Some of these I just see in reviews, and I add them, and these guys right here are definitely on my to-get list, or maybe not the one that's here, but they will be on my latest one. But these are, especially the stubby one, they're not that expensive, and they'll work with 1/4-inch bits. And I did find some knife-sized 1/4-inch bits when I was at Menards. Really weird, they came in a pack, but you can buy them as a single. Not sure if I'll buy that Icon knife. These scissors I'm on the fence about. And some airbags. You can tell I watch a lot of Sling and pouch videos. I'm really torn on some of these brands like AR Alpaca, Evergoods, Bellroy. Yeah, especially after using the Tomtoc slings. I'm really kind of wondering how much better can they really be. I actually have this. This is actually very nice. And then another thing I'm looking at for videos potentially And hey, I'm almost there. I got this Guy Tech organizer, which actually looked really cool, but it's currently unavailable on Amazon, so probably gone. That Sofrin, I think, came out this year. That thing, expensive, 50 to 60 bucks, but it's got some really cool modes. Now I gotta decide, do I want to buy it just because it's really cool when it'll, basically I've got tons of flashlights that'll do the same, that'll actually do a purpose other than being cool. And just a cheap Casio watch. That Leatherman adapt kit actually is kind of neat, but now that I look at it, it just looks like a lunchbox. This Toolon 8-in-1 handsaw just looks amazing and super useful. Just in life, it looks super useful, so I am definitely going to pick up 1 or 2 of those. And then this little garlic knife actually looks like a nice box opener knife. This, I just like the colors on it. It's stupid expensive to get those colors, but I really like the scales on it. The Air City pack, some backpacks. And then these pill pouches might be nice for organization. And then just some battery holders, just so they don't go all crazy in a bag. And may pick up some of the self-amalgamating tape. And then some colors in the Bic round stick or crystal to make the EDC pens. Just to have fun with a little bit of color versus the normal. So, get to my gift ideas. So these are the things that I was looking to get. So yeah, you got the Guy Trends, the Pico Fire, which has card slots, the double decker, maybe another VE10, maybe the VE22, because I put the pocket card with documents. For sure the VE30, probably for sure the 31. It has zero feud, it just depends if they're there and what my feelings are at the time. I do like the little one. I think the little one is the B. I do really like that pouch. The Vertex was a must-have, but now probably not. Like I said, may get another carry-on bag just to have a spare. Depends on the price. On the fence about some of the Bellroy slings. It's kind of, if I have extra money, might do one just to see what the difference is from the more inexpensive brands I try, like the Tom Tox. This Initech has some really neat storage. This, you'll see a video on soon. I've actually got one. Not yet. I will have it. They've got the 10 liter and the 5.5 liter sling. I don't know if I'll buy another one of these. Depends on price, and if I've got some extra cash, I'll pick up the actual branded Tom Tox organizer. This is another option for carrying my camera and CPAP. I got to do some measurements, whether I can get the CPAP and camera in their own cubes in here. And it's just a thought of maybe using something like this, and would it fit under the seat? Because I hate putting a bag up top. I like to put it under the seat, so it's just easier when you get off the plane. Again, the Trip Tech bag looks really cool, but again, since I've got the clone, do I really need another tech bag? I had to write in because I had the wrong one. I've got 2 of this rod already, but if you like fishing spinnerbaits, I throw 1/4 to 1/2 ounce or probably 3/4 ounce spinnerbaits on this rod, and it throws them accurately. It's actually the 1/4 ounce Dobbins. It's a great rod for spinnerbaits, and you can throw light baits accurately. I've thrown 1/8 ounce baits on it accurately. The Icon, the garlic knife, the handsaw. This Tough Built scraper is currently unavailable. Not sure if it's coming back. It's unique. but I don't think it's unique enough to buy probably, but it's got that cool factor. Again, because of the scales. Probably going to get the Jet Setter and probably the Super Tinker or the Fisherman if they're, depends on the price for both. And of course, just some extra pens. I don't know, these matches, there are times trying to get the grill started that these matches would actually be handy because we get a lot of wind. Glow sticks. Then into my light section. And one thing I don't like, although I think there are a couple on here that are all just internal batteries, I do like the throwaway batteries, just because if you're out in the field and the batteries die, you can just pop another battery in, which is why these 3 Roviv on here are very interesting to me, because they're dual power. They have the rechargeable battery in there, but they'll also work on, I think it's a AAA battery. So I like that option because if the battery dies, you can replace it. But that Sofrin's on there. And then there's this monopod, the little pill pouches, the battery holders, Gerber dime because I need another multi-tool. No. Shard, like I said, I'm still on the fence. This, I passed up on this last year. I'm getting it this year. Now these right here, these little cleaning scented papers, I think they're on that one. I probably just blew past them. These are like for the boat. If I ever need to wash my hands in a boat, just kind of something just to have just in case. Pens, and then some lenses. I had a 50mm prime lens. And for those that don't know, prime lenses are not zoom lenses, and the pictures with that I took this year when I was in South Carolina are just beautiful. So might pick up another lens, we'll see. And this I already bought, got a great deal on it, but I use those for spinnerbait storage. I think I did a video on that too. And oh, I forget who did this video. It was somebody did a video on this. That was this actually phone tripod. It's like 10 bucks. It actually looks better and more useful than the Joby. So I am looking to get this to do some of my videos as well. So right now I use, I think it's a Joby, one of those flexible one that I have wrapped around my tripod to do this video. But all right, I have talked a really long time going through this, but hope y'all found this interesting, and it was kind of fun to do going through this. But yeah, that's my EDC big list, and then my gift ideas. And now that I went through the big list, I saw some things I'm going to have to mark up quick to add to my gift ideas. But hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, take care, have a good one.